Man, we're live with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Dave Nudo.
Mr. Dave Nudo!
Hey!
Everybody, listen to me. I'm gonna tell you how it's supposed to be. Yeah. I'm gonna be a free man. I'm gonna find it to the end. Find the answers here. Yeah, welcome to the Chris and Mike Show. He's Mike, I'm Chris, and a portion of the show is brought to you by Riverside FM, the one and only choice for podcast platforms. Remember, we are live on Twitch, YouTube, and chrisandmikeshow.com, so you can go there right now, and you can check out our time with the super cool human with an amazing life resume, rock and roll, country rockin', southern rockin', cool-ass mofo, Mr. Dave Nudo. It joins us for an encore presentation of his life.
Welcome back,
Hi, Dave.
Hey, guys.
So what's going on in the Dave Nudo world, man?
Well, just recording music and trying to get some new stuff out there. We did I kind of reimagined a little bit, a couple of old songs, Betting on a Bullet and The Lord of the Devil. And I just re-recorded it more, the way we've been doing it live instead of the way that
Cool.
it
was originally
it's a little,
done. Yeah.
I think it's got a little more balls to it, And then
Cool.
I got this new
Awesome.
song I just released out there. It's called How Do I? That was actually a kind of a story that came kind of naturally when I first met my wife, and we first started kind of, liking each other and seeing each other and that sort of stuff. Yeah, and trying to figure out how to bring a brand new love into this life that I live. I'm a musician, so I'm gone a lot, and then I'm out late, and it's just like that's not conducive for a brand new girl to try to deal with.
Nope. I've always equated a musician to being a cowboy because you're never home. You're
It's
always
a little
out.
bit like that.
You're always doing
That's
something.
so true.
It's like that.
You're always doing something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're not,
Well, you definitely nailed
you're
it.
home doing stuff at the house and
Right.
doing yard work and all that kind of stuff. Home Depot and whatnot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mike. You were going to say something.
No, I was going to say we were talking before the show. You definitely nailed it with How Do I, because I didn't know that was you when it came up in my playlist. I had forgotten that I put it in there. Spotify's really cool about letting you know when you like somebody and follow them. Your song came up when it was new, so I just hit the follow button, so it threw it in my liked folder, and you came up in the middle of everybody else, and I didn't know who it was. So if anybody out there hasn't heard it, go look up Dave Nudo, How Do I, along with Lord of the Devil, as soon as he releases the new version, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've introduced so many people to that song, dude.
I sure appreciate it.
And so is Chris.
I appreciate both of you guys.
I told you. I thank you. We appreciate you. I told you when we first had you on the show, I just looked for your song titles, and that was the one that stood out at me. So I didn't even know how badass it was going to be. I just liked the title, and I
thought it was kind of catchy. I don't know. It just sort of came naturally too. That was a three in the morning sort of thing. I was still up and hanging out, and I just got this idea about.
I love. Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead, tell a story.
It was more about like the groove of it too. It was like a just sort of a driver like that. And I don't know. I was thinking about all the shit you find on TV with the commercials and all that, and they're all trying to sell you some kind of pill all the time that's going to fix everything for you. And it's like we all need some pill to swallow. That's the first line of the chorus, and then it got me to thinking, who's guiding this little freight train? Is it for you, or is it the Lord or the devil? Because to me,
Right.
all that consumer bullshit is. I mean, I partake in a lot of that kind of consumer nonsense, but it's certainly not great. Grounded in anything for necessarily a righteous path of any kind. Usually, it's trying to
So
eliminate hard work and that kind of stuff.
here's something funny, Dave. I was half in the bag last night because I worked 3 12-hour days this week, and I was just tired, man. So, I had a couple extra beers, and one of those commercials came on, and I had to rewind it to time how long the horrible side effects lasted in that commercial.
Yeah.
It was 24 seconds of the commercial was, this will kill you, cause you to want to kill yourself, cause you to bleed out your eyes, your ears, places you don't want to have things like that happen. I thought about your song. I was like, man,
Right.
he's so
Now
right.
here's the thing that's going to just blow your mind. Okay, those side effects were done with test subjects, because you see that stuff. You can be a lab test animal, human, because they'll check them on the rats first, right? And once they pass the rat test, then they go to humans. So you can be a case study for Pfizer, right, international, and make $10,000 over a course of 2 months, but you're taking all this crap. So every side effect happened to somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody died.
Yep.
Somebody's eyes bled. Somebody's ears bled.
Anal leakage.
Right. Somebody's
my
penis
favorite.
went limp and never came back.
Oh, man.
Their hair fell out. I mean, think about that shit. So when you're watching TV, boys and girls, and you see these commercials for these drugs that they're pimping out, the side effects actually happen to real life human beings.
Right.
So true.
Absolutely.
And somehow that still gets past the FDA. It's
I
mind
don't know,
boggling.
one in a million, 1 in 20,000, 1 in 10. I don't know what their ratio is for these side effects, actually affecting people in a large way. But maybe it's not worth it.
No.
I think it's lower than that, man. I don't think you test 1 million people, because that's not cost effective. I think you're testing small groups, like 1,000 or maybe 100. I can't imagine, a big drug company, like when they discovered Viagra worked for erectile dysfunction. It was created for I think it was the Navy SEALs, something to do with their lungs and their heart or something, why they were doing all that insane training. And then that was a byproduct. That was like, and then all of a sudden they started getting erections. It was like, what the hell is this? And they realized, oh, this does this, which is what it was designed for. This was a side effect. Now we can make trillions of dollars on this, fuck curing cancer, but let's give everybody a heart on.
Yeah, right.
For 3 hours.
Well, 4 hours. 4 hours is worst case scenario, but 3 hours.
After 4 hours, seek medical attention.
Right. So, funny story. We have some friends that happened to him,
Oh,
so he had to go to the hospital, and they actually have to drain. They
Really?
gotta stick something in the dingling, and then drain. He took the wrong amount or something wacky, and so he was still at attention 4 hours later, and then it started getting painful. So they had to go to the hospital, and sure enough, man, they have to drain something. They have to poke and
Stick it in like it's a vein.
It's like,
Draw
He's
blood
like,
from it like
I'm
a
like,
vein.
no, I don't want to see a picture. I do not want to see a picture. I don't need to see a picture. I can visualize.
I don't
had
want
one
to.
of those. I got a real good
Thank you.
idea.
Nope. No.
Crazy.
So the Dave Nudo band, are you touring? Are you going on the road? What's the dealio? It's May 1st. Welcome to May, boys and girls, in 2026. What's on the horizon for the band, my friend?
I saw you put the band back together.
Yeah.
First and foremost.
Yeah. So I had a couple of lineup changes here recently too, and I've been pretty happy with the group of guys as far as playing and all that stuff goes. But I think we've kind of leveled up a little bit. I got all of the key components that I was always looking for. Like when I first recorded County Line, I wanted a group of guys, a 3-part harmony on the vocals, wherever it's necessary, of course. We're not going to be the Diamond Rio or that, but I
don't want you to be Diamond Rio. Don't. Yeah.
No.
Be
But as
Dave
far
Nudo,
as
don't
like
be Diamond Rio,
the ability to throw that in there when I want it, we have that ability.
Absolutely.
And so,
Cool.
I got a guy on drums. His name's Danny Gately. He's also one of the harmony vocalists. He's got just a big old huge metal drum kit and just kind of what I was always looking for.
Nice.
Something big drums. And now in the way of guitars, I got Ronnie Long on guitar, lead guitar, and he's just an expert player. I mean, he's got chicken picking. He can play like the best of them. He can play like all your favorite rock and like hard rock and then country music as well. So that's just kind of what I have not updated the website though.
I didn't think so.
Yeah, that's
So,
Kyle.
but I still like to show the
So
website.
that's Kyle, the bass player
Okay,
there
right
with
there.
the green bass. He's still in the
Okay.
band. Now he's like the
Cool.
old, the longest member of the band besides myself. He's
Right on.
also one of the harmony
Hi, Kyle.
vocalists, and yeah,
Shout out,
Kyle
Kyle.
Christensen.
Good job,
He's-
Kyle.
Yeah.
Good God.
So
Good
I've
job,
got
Kyle.
a group of
Keep it
guys
up, man.
that we all fit in really well together, and as far as personalities go, and just the four dudes that I would actually three other dudes that I would actually like hanging out with as well, and we get to do that a little
And
bit
that's
too,
important.
so,
That is so important.
yeah.
Yes. That is
Yeah,
the most
absolutely.
important aspect of being in a band.
Oh
If you
man.
don't like them, then get rid of them. You
Yeah.
don't, because you just gotta like them. You gotta like them. You spend so much time. People don't. I think people realize it more so now than they did before. But being in a band is like being in a marriage. But it's not just one person. It's
Yeah.
It's 3, 4, 5, 6. We had a lady on not too long ago, Deborah Masterson, who got to go on tour with Sammy Davis Jr. What did she say, Mike? There was 9 people in that band.
9 or 11. I
Yeah.
think that one might have been 11.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
yeah.
That's a lot
Totally.
of people
So
to
you gotta
try to get along
for
with.
sure. Yeah. Well, imagine the artists like Bruno Mars is on a tour right now. So when he came to Arizona, I saw some pictures and stuff. His it's amazing. Like 20 people, man, plus the musicians.
Oh wow.
Oh, because of all the dancers, right?
all the dancers and shit. Yeah. I mean,
Oh yeah.
that's one of the artists. That's one of the artists when my daughter she's going to be 30 now in September. When she was young, I was like, this guy's going to be around for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you could just tell he was talented. Him and the only two I really thought of, everybody should listen to, Justin Bieber and Bruno Mars. I'm like, okay, they
Well,
have something that most people don't.
Bruno's another one that you like to say, Chris, that he plays all those instruments.
Yeah.
Right? He not only is that talented at dancing and singing, he
Right.
actually envisions how that song's going to be with every instrument. That's
Is
so
he one of them
impressive.
guys that plays all
Yeah.
the parts in the studio and then hires guys to play it live?
Yep,
Yeah.
For the
Probably.
most part, yeah.
probably yeah. He's another Prince, another Kid Rock.
Oh man, cool. I'm-
Multi-instrumentalist, multi-talented.
Right on. Well, I'm not multi-instrumental necessarily. I could play a little bit of chords on piano, that kind of thing, and a stringed instrument I can make some kind of music with. But fluently, it's just guitar, and
Yeah, that's what I always like to say too. I know where the notes are on the bass,
Yeah.
but I am not by no means a bass player because I'm going to play it like a guitar.
right, yeah, yep. When I pick up a bass guitar, I try to stick to the root because I'm not as I don't know how a bass should go. That's why I like what I hear when Kyle
That's
does it.
Yeah,
That's a great
Yeah.
way to put it. I think I know how to play bass until somebody actually knows how to play bass, and then I hear it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's how it goes.
So here's Dave Nudo topic. What does topic mean, Dave?
So while I was signed to Eminent Music, they were releasing all
Okay.
my music through the Orchard, which actually I'm going to start releasing all my music still through the Orchard. There, it's like linked to Sony.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah, Brian and Wayne Perry, the Perry Group, I think is what it's through. But so that they create this
Yeah,
YouTube
back in
page,
2019.
and so it's not
Okay.
their they're not Dave Nudo. This is just their Dave Nudo topic page. But I don't really even.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I'm gonna have him let me have control of that, so I can, put other things on
Fix it.
there that I want.
Fix it. Get a cover.
Yeah,
Get a cover photo. Get
yeah,
one of your badass. I'm motherfucking Dave Nudo pictures, man. Like,
yeah,
Be that guy.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, for all the live shows, I've got this ridiculous. I do a lot of sitting and like just solo shows as well. This is how I pay all the bills. So when we're not, when we're not
Yeah.
touring, I'm booking all around the Boise area, the Treasure Valley and beyond,
Yeah.
the
We
Northwest
follow,
kind of.
we follow you, so we notice.
Yeah.
We follow
Oh
you
yeah,
on
yeah.
the socials, so we see you.
You guys
we
are always.
see you doing all the things, man.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah, so
Yeah, well,
I
we're
got this
fans too,
gigantic
man. I mean,
picture
Yeah.
of me sitting right next to me, like at all the solo shows, and I'm looking at that thing and how grandiose it looks compared to, me sitting in a corner playing music. And I'm like pointing out because there's
Right.
a little link tree thing, QR code for my link tree on the
Yeah.
bottom, and I'm pointing it
Yep.
out and talking about this ridiculously huge picture of myself sitting right next to me. Look at the bottom and use your camera. Oh, so it looks a little silly to me, but it'll look cool it looks good on the side of a bigger stage.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm just scrolling. You guys.
yeah,
keep
those
I
are
see.
great shots,
You
man.
know how I roll. I like to pimp out the guest. I
That's-
like that one.
That's
I like
the
that
one right there.
motherfucker.
Yep, right.
That was
That's the
created by
one.
one of my longtime best friends, Tim Schmidt photo. Yeah, he does
Yeah.
some good work,
Right on, Tim. Good
and
job.
we've used those. That picture was the first one he took, and I still use both of those pictures when I'm
Well, yeah.
trying to advertise.
Well, because yeah, because it still looks like you, man. That's the thing.
Yeah,
It's not like you.
yeah. Well, and
I mean,
that
your
picture
beard's
there
a
was
little
from
longer.
Lonesome. My beard kind of
This one.
fluctuates a little bit, but yeah, I got to trim it up
Yeah.
every now and then, keep it straight.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's all topped out. It doesn't get any longer than that, which is unfortunate. I'd like to have one down to the belly button,
Inquiring minds want to know how long did it take you to get to where you're at currently?
Oh, I haven't cut it in years. Well, actually, that's not true. I let this guy talk me into touching me up before a show one day, and he did it for free. But I come out of there, and my beard's like about 3 inches shorter than it was, and I'm okay. It'll grow back.
What's your wife think?
She, she didn't really give me any shit about it either way.
Okay.
She didn't express very much, enough for me to remember whether she hated it or liked it. So maybe she just didn't want to hurt my feelings. I don't know.
That's funny.
Yeah. So what you guys been up to?
Oh, just taking over the world. We're like what almost in 100 countries now.
Nice.
Yeah, probably closing in on 100. We can claim 85 officially. I got to
Right.
count the ones on the website, but yeah. We
Good.
just had
Well,
a surge, man, about 2 weeks ago. You know how the internet works. You fall into a rabbit hole. You don't know how people find you. We
Right.
picked up over 40 countries in 10 days.
Oh, that's awesome. So listen, when the
Right.
whole world,
And Vietnam became number 2.
when you dominate the whole world, try not to forget about me, would you?
Mhm. Hell no, dude. You no, absolutely not.
We
All
just
right.
had this conversation with
Uh-huh.
another guest.
Yeah.
We
did.
hope it works one of two ways. We hope you dominate the world
Mhm.
and you don't forget about us,
Right.
because in turn we're not going to do the same. I mean,
Good.
Exactly.
that's
Yeah.
the whole point of this show is hopefully one of us blows up and it just helps everybody else and it
Yeah.
becomes a whole community, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, you got my
It's all-
phone number,
It's
so
all about we do.
Yeah, and I
It's
meant
a-
it, man. Your music
Yeah.
comes up in my playlist all the time. I'm as much of a fan as I am, humbled to be your friend now. It's
yeah.
Yeah.
That was the whole
absolutely.
point of this show, was to meet cool people that
Mhm.
are doing cool things, and especially musicians, because that's our wheelhouse. you
Right.
know?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, that's cool. I got hooked on another podcast because of the guy who was a member. You guys watch WWE at all? Probably not a thing.
I used to.
Very, very
Oh,
seldomly.
for some weird reason, I used to watch it mainly when I was a teenager, late teens, but all throughout my
Sure.
life, if it was on, I'd glued to the
Right.
TV watching these crazy maniacs beating the hell out of each other. But yeah, I just recently started watching over the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, watching it again, and with all the new characters
Yeah.
and all that stuff. And one of those guys is Logan Paul, and
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
so, yeah, that guy was pretty cool. He's always interviewing a lot of the people that I like to you know know stuff about. Not so much in the rock star world. I found this other one for that, but well, I can't remember the name of it. So I just go to the Chris and Mike show. That way I can hear about all the up and comers and
Right.
whoever else is on there.
We've been pretty blessed, man. Chris has done an amazing job of picking people who are legitimate about what they say they're doing. I'll give him credit for that.
Yeah,
You get a lot of people that are bullshit, and you got to
right.
weed those people out.
Right.
So he's done a great job of weeding out the people who, are just blowing smoke and finding the people who are definitely on their way up, like yourself. Look at what you've done since you've been on this show. You went back, re-recorded that, you put your band back together. We knew you were legitimate just by hearing your music.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So again, I wasn't bullshitting you before the show. We bring up the Lord and the Devil a lot with other musicians we talk to, because we even brought it up to this. We brought it up to a friend of ours, a radio DJ who was here in Arizona forever. Then he went to California and he got riffed. So we had him on the show because I'd always wanted to have him on the show because the dude's got stories like you wouldn't believe. Like he met Lemmy. I mean, he's met Jimmy Page. I mean, I keep telling him, dude, write a book. While you're searching for employment, write a book. Just write a book, man. And he had posted something on his Facebook page yesterday, and I chimed in there, dude, write a book. And the likes of that comment alone are blowing up, because it's like, dude, you have disc jockeys because 40 years in music he was as a disc jockey. So you think back 40 years ago, they had the keys to the kingdom, right? You didn't have social media. You didn't have the presence that you can have now as an artist on your own. So the DJs were the gatekeepers. They'd come to the studios, they'd talk, they promote the shows, right? Because you come to town, where are you going? You're doing the radio bit in the morning to promote your show that night, because there was nothing. It was just radio and TV. So the things that he's done, the people he's sat with, and the interviews he's done, like he told Scott Stapp, he asked Scott Stapp, how hard is it being the world's greatest douche? Right at the height of Creed, because
that was Bono.
Because Stapp was a douche back then, right?
Right.
No, that's a different conversation. But you know what I mean? So those little nuggets of his life, I think, would be a fascinating book. But again, we told him about you because it's just that good of a song that it just blows Mike and I mind that it's hopefully when it's re-released, you take off, because, dude, like Mike said, I have it in several different playlists, and it just flows. It just flows with it. It's that's how you know it's a hit, because it just comes up and you automatically start singing to it.
Nice.
And then for me anyway, I'm halfway through. I'm like, fuck, that's Dave again. Right on. But you don't think about it when it first comes on. So if people watching this thing in all 85 countries, Google Dave Nudo, the Lord and the Devil. Download it, buy it, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you can find the thing, download and buy it. I guarantee you will love this song. It will be stuck in your head. Sometimes the moments you don't want it stuck in your head, but that's how you know it's a good song. You can't get out of your head.
Yeah, you said it best, man. Halfway through that song, I always say in my head, I'm like, oh, I know that dude.
Yeah.
It's like, I know that dude. That's how good of a song it is. It's just like... One of my playlists, it's number 2. So when I get in my car, if I want something to listen to on the way to get something to eat and back, I'll always just hit that playlist because I know it's right there. Crank it up so everybody in town can hear it, of course.
It's good. It's good loud too. And I'm excited to hear the new version, because the original version is badass. But if the new version is more like how you play it live, which we as musicians can understand, that you can rehearse a song till you're blue in the face, but when you play it live, it's sped up a little bit. The energy's a little bit more, elevated there.
A little
You're feeding
heavier.
off the crowd. Right. You're feeding off the crowd. You start to kind of improv certain spots. Oh, I could do this here. I could hold this note longer here. I could go up here if I wanted to. I could go down here. So the dynamic changes live.
That's a good lesson for young musicians from all three of us. Don't record your music too soon. Go play it and workshop it. That he just said it best, man.
Yeah.
You're going to find things that you didn't anticipate in practice. Yep. Live is just a whole nother level. Chris and I have said this for years. It might be 100 practices in one show. We always said 10. It literally might be 100.
Yeah.
It's that important to go play your songs live before you go in the studio and record.
Yeah. And see what's even indicative with that, like nailing the hammer on the head. The last band I was in, we never played a show live till after it was recorded. And once we started playing live, I'm like, oh, I should have did it this way, because they didn't want to play live.
Yeah.
So you experienced it firsthand.
Huh?
I do some of that.
Experienced it firsthand.
I did.
Yeah.
A lot of my songs are recorded, and then I go out and play them, and then I regret it. So that's what I've started finding, is that it's better to have some time in the saddle with it
in the studio
before you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before you go record it. Otherwise, you're just trying to recreate some ideas you had in the moment, and
right.
It's you don't like it.
There's a song I wrote
much.
called Liquid Sin, right? There's a song I wrote called Liquid Sin, which is about my journey through alcoholism. Okay. When we started playing that live, because when I sing my songs, Like I feel my songs with every. I'm sure you're the same as a vocalist and songwriter. You feel it with every ounce of your body. It's not just, you're not going through the motions ever. It's in my mind, it's always this first time I'm playing the song in front of these people, and they have to feel the emotion that was there when I wrote it. But just rehearsing it in studio work, you don't get that vibe. So when we started playing out, and especially with that song, we started playing it live, there were so many different things I could do with it vocally, with the way the music was and the improving and shit. They're just like 1,000 times better live, and the recording version just sucks. I mean, it captures the moment of what I wrote about, and it has a little bit of the energy, but it fucking doesn't even compare. And back then, there weren't cell phones. It was 2008, so we didn't have the technology we have now. We did the Road to Sturgis tour, so there was nothing that was really captured, because you just had the flip phone still. It was the little Nokias from the Matrix. Remember the Nokia phone from the Matrix? Beep, and it pops up. That was the phone technology. So there's no way to capture stuff the way you can capture it now, unless you have this big recording setup. And we didn't, because we were just a nobody band going to Sturgis. But it's just, So I champion every band out there. It's great that you can record your music just to learn your music, to learn your songs, but then go play live 6 months, do 6 months worth of shows, whether that's once a week or 4 times a week or whatever the case may be, then go back to the studio. You're going to be amazed the difference. That's why I think a lot of the bands that come out, like Matchbox 20, right? Their first album was phenomenal, but because they played those songs for years and years and years, their second song, their sophomore projects always flop. Why? They don't have time to go play live.
Yeah.
When you're on tour, when The Lord and the Devil breaks, and that's going to be your encore song after your other 14 songs you play, you're not going to have time to introduce new music. And when you do, the fans are going to be like, okay, beer run.
You're right.
Because they want to hear the hits.
Yeah.
And that's the catch with being a band that starts rising, right? Because you got to introduce your new shit, but you can't really introduce your new shit because people don't want to hear your new shit. They want to hear the shit that's playing on the radio right now that got you where you are.
Right.
And you know it as well as I do. So does Mike. When you get those new songs, what's the crowd do? Beer run, bathroom. And, so that's the thing. It's hard. So, maybe come up with an alternative name, like the Skip Tracy band, and then every now and then go play live under Skip Tracy.
I like it.
The songs that, nobody knows who you are, don't wear your cowboy hat, sunglasses, just, maybe pull the hair back in a ponytail and, braid the beard.
Yeah. I should always call this guy here, show up, the hair's all back. It's in a braid usually when I show up to the show. Set up all my gear. Yeah. I'm Dave's roadie, right? And then I go out and
there you go. Yes.
Change my hat and show back up as that other guy in the picture,
Yeah. Yeah. Dave's roadie.
Yep.
Dave's Roadie. That's a good name. Roadie Dave. There you go. Call yourself Roadie Dave as your side project, and then you can go
I
exploit
like it.
your
Roadie
new
Dave.
music and then
That's not,
get the work up from that. You know.
that's a great
And then
idea.
when people come up and talk to you in that character, always remain in that character. So like when they say, "Hey, will you?" If they talk to you as Dave Nudo, just say, "Hey, I'll let him know when I see him."
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
That would really throw people for a loop, man.
Yeah.
I've actually
Like,
said stuff like that.
Aren't you? Now, aren't you that guy? No. No, that's not me. I get that all the time. That's
Yeah.
not,
No
that's
one
not
I
me.
see.
That's not me.
I'm not that
That's
guy.
not me. I'm his roadie. I know. Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, that's lesson to be learned, kids. If you're in a band starting out, do live
Yeah.
shows. It's worth 10 practices all in one. You
Oh,
especially when you
absolutely.
mess
So
up.
with the
Go ahead.
Yeah.
So with that
that's
said,
Mike.
Dave, because the song is so important, where did you go re-record it, and what was your mentality? Because we feel partly responsible in this
We do.
happening. So
We
I
do.
want to hear the story, and where was your
Mhm.
mind when you went in the studio this time with knowing that song is important? I think you understand that as well. Where'd you go do it, and what was your mindset when you went in to do it?
Yeah, you
Well-
should start this conversation, Andrew, with thank you, Chris and Mike, for pushing me to do so.
Well, no. So I did the drums over at the Tonic Room here in Boise, Idaho. This guy's
Yeah.
done some good recordings for a few famous people. He's mentioned the names and I knew them, and I don't know them very well, but very
Yeah.
popular at some point. And needed to get some get some recording done while they were on the road, and they went there to the Tonic Room. And anyway, he's got a pretty cool setup for getting live drum sound, and he's got all the right tools, and I enjoy working with him. His name's Jason at the Tonic Room there in Vista, off of Vista in Boise. And also I have one of my best friends. He and I have worked together quite a bit and doing some kind of like duo shows and that kind of stuff. And he has a pretty great recording studio and a killer vision for music. And so I'm letting him like help produce me on a lot of this stuff. Anyway,
Nice.
I re-recorded all the guitars there, and except for the guitar solo on the Lord of the Devil. Ronnie Long did that for me. He's the new guy in the band, and the mindset is just really, make it. Those other guys were session players in Nashville, so it's going to be great music, whether you
Yeah.
like it or not. It's going to be perfectly just well made. And my goal and my mindset was to come in and into the studio and play as well as they do, and but have a little bit more guided towards country rock versus like country radio. And that's what I got out of my band, and the way that I
Awesome.
play guitar is a little different than what you'd hear in out of a Nashville session player anyway. But yeah, so that was the idea is, give it a little bit more sack, I'm not sure if we sped it up because I like the way it sounds, the way that the tempo
I like
was.
the tempo for sure.
I like playing it live a little faster. I think it needs to be played live a little faster, but listening to it on the over,
Everything
whatever
does.
your car stereo or whatever, it's like it's good. It's a good tempo, so I left that alone. Betting on a bullet, I think we left the tempo the same on that too, but that was one of those ones where I recorded several years ago and I've played it live over all these years, and I sing it better. I've lived with the song for so long. I've got it down exactly the way I want it in every little spot. Then that's what I recorded, and that was the mindset of going in for that. How do I was just happy to be putting out a new song, and Andrew Chappell did most of the guitar work on that for me, and the drums and the bass. he's kind of an all around musician. Boy, if you ever get a chance to get him on your podcast, I would. Andrew Chappell. He's pretty
Who is
impressive
it?
guy.
I
More of a
follow
Hook us
country.
up.
along
Yeah.
with you on. Yeah,
Yeah,
I follow
hook us
him
up,
along
hook us
with
up.
you on Facebook, Dave. If you can make that happen, tell him to go register himself as a guest or help him do
Christian,
that or
yeah.
whatever. We'd love
Yeah.
to have him. I follow his music as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
So this is, yeah. I want to show you something funny because I was
Okay.
gonna pull up Lord of the Devil. Okay, this is on YouTube. I just typed in Dave Nudo, the Lord and the Devil. Number one is your video, Dave, and number two
Oh.
is the Chris and Mike show short
Oh, nice.
about your song. How crazy is that, man?
Yeah, I love that.
That's,
That's awesome.
that's outstanding. And then that's like before, like that's cool right there. Because I was gonna pull this shit up and just because I like it. I like it.
That's good.
I like the song.
I sure appreciate you guys
I like it a
spreading the
lot.
word.
It's a great
Hey, man.
song, dude. It just
Yeah.
is. It got stuck in my head from the moment I've heard it, and I've heard it probably 200 times since then, minimum.
Yeah, I tried to
I'm
stay
playing
true
the first
to the way that the guitars were played for the most part, but
I know. This is the line.
Everybody's looking for something good or something bad, even though they shouldn't. A little bit of heaven right here on earth, a little hell if that's what works. Some are saved on the dance floor.
I love that, dude. I love now that you explain the line at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
in the morning, it hits even better. It hits
Yeah.
even better because knowing the context behind it.
yeah,
That's the cool thing about it. You don't give away the story of the song, but when you give insight to why it was written, that to me is cool because I don't like
Yeah.
when artists will, they tell the world what the song is about. Like, motherfucker, don't do that. Everybody has their own interpretation. But
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
the origin story of how it was written and where, because I've had those 3 a.m. moments, man. They're fucking frustrating. Because you think you remember, and you won't remember, so you got to get up and get out of bed. You got to go write it down.
yeah.
That's just, I'm telling you. And the beginning, it's just a hook. It's a hook. The hook, you hooked from the beginning of that. So I'm really excited to hear the new version, the updated
Yeah.
recorded version.
Oh.
I am. I'm super stoked for that.
It's pretty similar, but I think, like I said, a little more balls, and also the way that
Yeah.
the vocals were mixed in the chorus on that original version. It's almost I wasn't very stoked about the way the lead vocal just sort of disappears into the music quite a bit for the chorus, which is
The first one.
yeah,
I'm
on the
glad
original
you said
version.
that because that's
Yeah.
something that bothers me about that one too.
That doesn't happen
It's still good
anymore.
though. It's still good though. Okay,
Oh, it's-
but it's
yeah,
still
it-
good though.
no, I like
it's still
it,
a
but-
good. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, but I
Yeah.
like to hear things like that because that
Mhm.
tells me that he's just as in tune with
Mm-hmm.
the production value as
Right.
he is as an artist, right? Some artists
yep.
are not in tune with
Mm.
what should sound good because I don't think they have an ear for it.
yeah.
I would
Yeah,
never
that's
tell you
absolute-
that, Dave, because it's a great song, but I think it's going to be better when I hear it the way that now you intended it for that lead vocal to still be there with the background vocals ducked underneath it, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I like it better, so hopefully you will too.
I think I will too.
Yeah.
We will.
Yeah.
We like everything from Dave Nudo, man. We're fans.
Well, I like to listen to the music that I made up too, because that's what I've always said is I like making music that I want to listen to. So and if that means
That
I'm
was us.
emulating certain guys or I'm all over the map with my influences, including like gangster rap from the 90s and that kind of stuff, but hip hop and R&B
Right.
and all that and obviously country and metal. But yeah, so it all makes its way in there and it's all based out of some kind of music that I liked or liked at one point. So yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys agree with me on it.
Absolutely, man.
Well,
Always have.
traditionally, I would not consider myself a country music fan unless it's either done in the traditional vein Or if you start adding the elements of rock into it, which you do so well. A lot of
Thanks.
it's subtle, but it's always there.
Thank you. And I like to think a lot of times my vocal delivery comes from a little more influence on the heavier stuff rather than country singing
100%.
necessarily.
Yes. No,
I just
that's why I
feel
like that song off the bat, because the music was country, but your voice has kind of got that cool little southern rock
more,
raspy drawl.
Yeah, like a Ronnie
Sure.
Van Zant delivery
Yeah.
There you
more.
go.
You know,
Good
you
stuff.
got that attitude that it's that
And-
Dave Nudo. You got your personality in there, you know.
It's that motherfucking Dave Nudo.
Chris was the same way. You always knew it was him because his attitude came out in the song.
Yeah, right on. My biggest, probably my biggest influence. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
Probably was
big,
like James Hetfield and you know, like Ozzy Osbourne, those kind of guys. I just loved that sort of music the most. And then I don't think I'll ever get into that, you know, death growling kind of stuff. But you know, heavy music's always been at the forefront of my, you know, listening since as far back as I can remember. But so there's a lot of that influence, you know, Chuck Billy from Testament and all those kind of guys. I don't know if you guys are into heavier music like that, but it's my favorite. I used to be a Metallica fan, but more like I'm more like a metalhead nowadays.
Okay, so here's a question. Okay, because this is fascinating. Your answer is going to fascinate me. You just like slid off all the metal off your tongue, and you're a metalhead, all that kind of jazz, but you're doing country music.
Fucking arthritis and stuff, you know, in the neck. I didn't want. Here's what happened. I was in 2010. I was the front man, and I played guitar, not lead guitar, but rhythm guitar, for a band I made that I formed with a couple of other dudes called Primalodic, and we went to Reno and played at the Knitting Factory there, and I came back with a kink in my neck that never went away. So I was like, man, I can't do this forever. Plus, I've been writing songs. I started out in a country band, country rock and blues kind of cover band. And I wrote a few tunes with those guys, and they didn't really want to pursue original music, so to speak. So I kind of moved on and got into a little more heavier stuff, hard rock, called 12 Gauge Fuse. And then, but I'd all along been writing songs with my acoustic guitar in my hand. So you can turn pretty much anything you write on an acoustic guitar into something the country folks would like, you know, country music lovers would like. And that's why I call it country rock, because it's always based off of all of that stuff rather than traditional country music necessarily. Yeah. Thanks.
Cool.
All right.
Okay. Good answer, man. Good answer.
That was very close.
Yeah.
That was very close to our style, Dave. I mean, when Metal Blade came to us, the A&R rep, here was his comment. I can't put my finger on your sound. There's something unique about it. It shouldn't be unique, but I just can't figure it out. Chris had a very southern drawl to his voice. My guitar playing was basically the blues with the distortion cranked up, right? Increase the tempo and turn the distortion up, and now you got rock and roll or metal or whatever you want to call it. But it's all based in that, like you said, a lot of those songs I initially wrote on an acoustic guitar because my teacher told me if it sounds good without amplification, it's a good song. But if you're hiding behind the distortion and then you strip all that away, you got to strip it all away because sometimes it sucks, right?
Yeah.
So I always started either playing my electric not plugged in, or I would grab an acoustic and make sure that chord combination sounded good or those notes worked right there. So like you said, if you slow that down just a little bit, now you basically have country / southern alt rock or whatever.
Right.
It becomes the Black Crowes or Molly Hatchet or
Nemesis.
That's a hell of a list to be in. Thanks, guys.
Dave Nudo.
Right. Well, Nemesis was us, man. We're not
We're
climbing
working on it.
climbing the world like you are right now.
Yeah,
You
I had
know,
a
but
couple
it's
broken
still
rungs
cool.
in the ladder,
It's
so
still cool to have you on and talk about music and shit.
yeah.
Yeah. You'll get
Well,
there.
it's cool to talk to people who are going through the same thing.
What's that, Mike?
It's cool to talk to people who are going through the same thing that we did when we were on our way up. You know, we understand your journey. We know where you're at, and to have watched what you've done since you were on here the first time, it's obvious you're working your ass off because you're
I
getting
moved
your
to
name
Boise,
out there
Idaho.
more. I see you. Did you make a move recently?
There's a lot more music venues
Was that for
here
just more exposure?
than there were up in Cambridge where I was living. And I'm a small town guy. It's the way I like to live. I know everybody in town and that kind of stuff. But it's a little harder getting around with all the traffic here. But there's a lot more places to play, and I can stay busy not every day of the week, but every week. So this is the only thing I do to pay the bills. So it's
that's good.
yeah, just gotta be where
We
it's
talked about
happening.
that last time. Yeah.
And not to mention, when I met my wife, she lived in 2 hours a different direction, and we kind of met right here in the middle, and that's where we planted our feet for now anyway. 2 years.
How long you guys been together?
2 years. Yeah. Well, the months just rip on by, but we got married last June, and so we're coming up on an anniversary.
I know.
That'll be cool. But yeah, she's been such a benefit to helping
Right on, man.
me get,
cool.
stay busy, stay focused, and just always there as a support. It's really nice. Not, that was the only way it was ever going to work out. So yeah,
that's cool. Yeah. Well, yeah. I told my wife on our first date, I'm a musician. This is what I want to do with my life. Went the whole gamut.
Awesome.
And she's she's still with me 31 years later. So it's it's awesome to have somebody that supports you and believes in you, and realizes that you're not just some podunk that
right,
that really can't go anywhere with what you want to do. Because there's
and you got to you got to give those women credit, because there's so many guys who say, I want to be a musician, and then never do the work, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of wannabes out there. Back in the day, we're all about the same age. We called them posers, right?
Yep.
Fucking poser. We actually went out there and did the work, man. We played for the bartender and the guy sweeping the floor on Monday night at 11 o'clock at night, or Sunday night, worse yet, at 10 o'clock at night when nobody's there. We paid our dues. We played hundreds, thousands of shows where nobody was there. And then all of a sudden,
everybody was there.
That's right. Then all of a sudden you're opening up for names that people have heard of, household names, and the show's packed. It's Saturday night at 7 o'clock. You're the opening act. And you look out and you're like, man, I did it. I found a brotherhood who was of common mind, and, here we are. That's an amazing feeling. Chris has said it 100 times on this show.
Right.
It's something that you're never going to know what that feels like unless you've been there.
Yep. And there's nothing better than being the opening act and getting the crowd.
Yeah. No doubt.
Cheering and applauding and just like, holy shit, who are these guys? That's the greatest feeling in the world, because they came to see somebody else, and we walk on the stage. And
and you show up with your A game too.
And then they have no choice but like, holy shit, who are these guys?
You just see that change on their face.
Yeah, you do see it on their faces, absolutely. Because you get that skill. What the fuck are these guys? Wow. Oh, wow.
Hey, they can play.
It's that. I like that. Hetfield has a thing where he talks about when he's on stage, he'll find one fan in the crowd that he can lock eyes with, and then that's his moment for the rest of the show. He just knows where that person is, and anytime he feels whatever he feels, he just finds that guy and locks eyes.
I've heard that story.
And you can't tell You can't tell
Yeah.
because I used to lock eyes with people. They
Right.
can't tell you're locking eyes with them because the lights are on our face. So we really can't see them as much as they think we can, and vice versa, because there's the ghost. We're just this shower of light, of white light, right? There's the ghost. The ghost. See the ghost? I got to do this to get the ghost to go away. Go away, ghost. So that was always cool watching people,
Yeah.
watching
Right.
people's reactions, because they always had that, who the fuck are these guys? Where's the band I want to see? And then by the time we got to finished our third song, which then they're like,
Let's just see what they have to
okay.
offer then.
all right,
That was
I like
pretty.
these guys. What's next? Right, and because that's the vulnerability of a
Yeah.
musician, right? You do the same thing
That's
when you
the
play all
beauty
these
of getting
different
to
shows.
open up for-
Some people don't know who you are,
That's the beauty of getting
know?
to open up for
and
a
then you
pretty
get through a couple
mainstream
songs
band,
like,
because you're getting in front
Yeah.
of people that have never heard of you before, and if they like you, that's a pretty good thing. I got this song called "So Far So Good" that I
Yep.
wrote specifically to
Yeah.
get the crowd involved, and that's what I get them to not chant with me, but to say when it's the time of the song, it's the chorus and it's the
Cool.
hook. So, but yeah, and I got
Nice.
4,000 people out in front of me ready to watch Brantley Gilbert, and
Yeah.
they all yelled it. They all yelled "So Far So Good" when I asked them to. So that was awesome. It's just like, okay, this is a good idea.
Right
I'm gonna
on.
keep
That's
doing it.
awesome.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yep.
I'm just waiting for
Right.
it to be on the radio, and every town I go to, everybody already
Yeah,
knows it, so
that's
that I don't have to tell
That's
them
my favorite part of being.
the
yeah.
name of the song and that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. That's the
absolutely,
best feeling in the world, man. When the crowd sings back to you.
no doubt.
Best feeling in the world.
For sure.
Nothing can match that.
Oh,
Because then you got
Absolutely.
that hive mind going. We're
Yeah,
all
and-
on the same page.
and if you
now.
can, and
Yep,
if you can
yep.
do or say things that makes that large amount of people feel something and move with you on it, that's pretty awesome. I'm looking forward to Bella Cheetah,
Yep.
Bruce Gambino getting me
Absolutely, man.
out further than I can get myself into a little bit bigger venues than I would
Yep.
get myself into. That's all still kind of in the works. And now that I've got some new music to
Cool.
put out, and I think the wheels are starting to turn for that kind of thing too. So looking forward to hopefully getting on some kind of tours with some other folks and playing
Yeah.
for some bigger
Hi,
crowds.
Bruce.
Shout out to Bruce.
Call him up.
Yeah, I haven't talked to Bruce in a while,
Oh yeah.
man.
Yeah,
Bruce
he's
must be
got a
really
lot
busy
more
because
going
Bruce and I
on
used to
these
talk
days,
every
too.
week,
He's
man.
making changes.
You
He's
know?
finally down to
I will. I'll have to
yeah.
poke
He's
the bear.
got. I think he's got all of his stuff
figured,
moved
I
over to
figured.
where he's living now
Yeah.
instead of where it was. So now he's ready to rock.
Cool.
Yeah, I like that guy.
Yeah, Bruce is good people, man.
Oh, right.
He's really good
Yeah.
people. He introduced
Yeah,
us to you.
absolutely.
So, that says something right there. I got this country star named Dave Nudo, man. You're gonna love him. You need to get him on the show, Chris.
I love
Just
it.
get him on the show. I promise, dude. I promise.
He was right. Turns out he was right.
Yeah. I think we
Oh, okay.
we had about a month and a half of straight Velocita musicians.
Nice.
It was crazy. It was just like this swarm of artists from Bruce.
Well, I sure appreciate that.
And I really, you're the one that stood out the
Mm.
most to us. I don't know why, but you are. Yeah.
Well, after talking to him for as long as we have, it's pretty clear that we grew up listening to pretty similar kinds of music.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we
Sure.
approached the music business
Absolutely.
from almost an identical standpoint.
True.
I just think, no disrespect to any other artist that ever comes on here, but the reason that we praise you so much is you get to
Sure.
know people after you talk to
Mhm.
them on an intimate level like this.
Yeah.
You're learning about your life, how you came up through it, and just the little nuggets that I pulled out as far as you liked metal. That's where my heart lies. Half the time I sit down to play my guitar, Dave, I start playing what people would call pretty, beautiful music.
Right.
But when I turn on music,
too.
a lot of times I gravitate towards Pantera and Testament and Megadeth and Metallica.
Absolutely.
it makes you want to move, you know, but I also gravitate towards Marvin Gaye
Nice.
and Motown music and, you know, I'm a
Oh,
closet disco fan. And I just like music that makes you want to move. But
Yeah.
I agree with you that half the time I pick up my guitar to write music, now I want to write what I'm feeling
Yeah,
in my
yeah.
soul and in my
Absolutely.
heart. And a lot of times that's not metal.
yeah, I'm
you
the
know?
same way. And then other times I pick up a guitar and I go straight back to when I was playing for, you know, those other bands, play those heavy riffs, and I love that too. And I just love it.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
I like music I like riffs that scare people. You know, I always found that I always found that so hilarious that, you know, just the tone of the music people
Yeah.
put a name on, like now this is devil music or
It's that
that's
tritone.
evil. Like
Right.
it's just music, man.
Right.
We were just talking about it. If I turn the distortion off, now it's not
Oh,
so
that's-
scary. Before I had an amp that would do that, I was like, man, this isn't scary at all. This is an E chord and an F chord. That's what that is.
Well, it's at 12:30. It's at 12:30 my time.
What else you want to guys talk about? It's
No, I just was making-
it's 11:30. It's 11:30 a.m. my time. We can wrap this up if you want, man. I know you
I
got
think-
shit to do in your front yard. Your wife's been, you know,
Yeah,
out
okay,
there
that's
working.
all I was worried about.
I'm good. I still got like 5 minutes before I got to bounce. So do you guys want to wrap things up and yeah. So it's up to you guys. We can keep going. We can keep talking. We can,
Hey, man,
you know,
I'm
or
getting
keep you
out
from
of
your
yard
projects
work
during
right
the day
now,
and all
so-
that kind of fun stuff. So you let us know. We're good either way, brother. This is true. This is true. So
Well,
Mike, you got to keep
if my
Dave on
phone
for like
charger was
4
in here
hours. It'll be
with
the
me,
longest episode ever.
We'll
Looks like
try.
my
We'll try and beat
phone's about to
Rogan's
die at
record.
about 12%. So maybe not in 4 hours.
Well, we can wrap up with Chris then.
Yeah.
You're welcome back
Yeah.
here anytime, Dave.
Yeah, anytime. Yeah, in fact, you need to come back once you got that stuff released, the new versions of both those two songs. We have you come back.
All
and
right.
we can pimp that stuff out and tell people where to find all that kind of jazz because
Yeah.
you know we're all about Dave Nudo, and you know that's, man. We love you. So anytime you want to come back, and you know if you
Yeah,
want
that'd
to
be
come
cool.
back with some of your bandmates, we'd be cool with that too. You know, bring the whole band with you one time.
That'd be awesome.
We had a band. I think we had a band. We had Devils by
Oh, cool.
Definition. Their band, their entire band came on. We had a group from South Africa. They were on the whole
We
band,
We had two members at Gibson and Company.
right? Yep, they were on. We had somebody.
That's a
from
band
Ireland.
you would like, Dave.
Oh
Sorry to
yeah,
interrupt.
Gibson Company.
You would
yeah,
like
you would.
Gibson and Company. They're out of Canada.
Hey,
Hey, what's their name?
But really, they're kind of your kind of style, eh? Really
They're
super
another
nice
one
guys,
that
eh?
comes on my Gibson and Company. It's actually Gibson, the ampersand
Yep.
CO.
Like Gibson guitar. Yeah, good band. I think you'd like them too. I do. And look up the Quarantine. Sean Martin. I think you'll dig his music too. Now
Yeah, right
knowing
on.
that you have that metal background, I think you'll dig.
You'll
the
love the
Quarantine stuff.
Quarantine.
Yeah.
Sean plays some amazing riffs.
Yeah, he's a good human too, like you, dude. He's got a good soul. Just genuine human. Good life resume. Like really good life resume. That dude went from
Very cool.
being in the military to chaos.
He was a paratrooper, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Had some struggle. Yeah, had some struggles, PTSD and shit. Really, just traveled what did you say, Mike? Back and
Wow.
coast to coast 8 times.
Well,
in
if
the
you get
United
a
States,
chance and you
just
think
driving,
about
looking
it,
for
if
the
you
right
could send me a
people.
link,
Like,
that'd be
just
awesome.
Really. Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
We can do that. Cool. All right, boys and girls, he's Dave Nudo, DaveNudo.com. Just Google him. You're going to find all his stuff. He's absolutely amazing. Somebody walking to my door. Yep. I'm going to get killed one of these days, I swear to God.
I can't see it now.
I know. if you're feeling depressed and suicidal, I don't know how you could feel depressed and suicidal if you watch our show when it comes out. So maybe just do that. Just stay alive to watch our show twice a week, because that'll just keep you in the right mindset. But if you are struggling and you're having a bad day, go run, go journal, go scream at a pillow, go find someone to talk to. If you can't find somebody to talk to, text 988. Somebody's standing by. They're willing to talk you off that cliff. Recently, if you watch Storage Wars, Daryl Sheets played lollipop with a handgun and killed himself. He lived in Lake Havasu City. His son lives somewhere around me in Queen Creek, and I don't get the mindset with that. There's his son would have talked to him, and there was an image of him a couple hours prior to where he was out in the community walking his dogs. It just makes no sense to me, man. Just don't do it. Don't leave a hole in somebody else's heart. You're gonna ruin their lives because you take your own. So text 988. Somebody's there to help you feel better. Tomorrow's always a better day with you waking up in it. For the Chris and Mike show, I'm Chris. He's Mike. This is the fantastic Dave Nudo. We so appreciate your time, man. We know how busy you are. You gracing us with your presence means a lot to us. Not only the first time, but the second time. So keep us posted on all your things, and we'll get you back on as soon as we can.
Appreciate you guys.
And have another conversation with you. Until next time, everybody. Peace.
Thanks again, brother.
Thanks, Dave. Love you guys.
Love you, man. Peace.
Yep. Peace. Don't leave yet, Dave.
The battle, but you must win. Who is it, baby?